Imagine, if you will, a world where the sun is forgotten to rise, where the air is thick with the acrid smoke of burning dreams and the ground beneath our feet is nothing more than the ashes of what once was. This is the landscape of our darkest times, a place we all visit at some point in our lives, though some of us linger here far longer than others. In this bleak realm, we find ourselves stripped bare of all pretense, all the masks we wear to face the world. We are raw, vulnerable, exposed to the harsh realities of our own limitations and the cruelty of fate. It's here, in this most desolate of places, that we must somehow find the courage to go on. But what is courage really? Is it the absence of fear? The bold face we put on for others? The reckless charge into danger? No. True courage is something far more subtle, far more profound. It's the quiet voice inside that whispers one more step when every fiber of our being screams for us to give up. It's the trembling hand that reaches out for help when pride would have us suffer in silence. It's the fragile hope we nurture in the face of overwhelming evidence that all is lost. In the darkest of times, courage often looks like simply surviving. It's the act of drawing breath when the weight of existence threatens to crush our lungs. It's forcing down food when grief has stolen our appetite. It's closing our eyes at night, knowing that tomorrow will bring fresh horrors, yet choosing to face it anyway. Sometimes courage is found in the smallest of actions. It's picking up the phone to call a friend even though the thought of human interaction feels like too much to bear. It's opening the curtains to let in a sliver of light despite the comfort of the darkness. It's planting a seed in barren soil, daring to believe that something might grow. How do we find this courage when we feel utterly depleted, when our reserves are empty and the well of our strength has run dry? The truth is, courage isn't something we find, it's something we create. We forge it in the crucible of our pain, temper it with our tears, and shape it with our determination to survive. To create courage, we must first acknowledge our fear. We must look it in the eye, name it, understand it. Fear is not the enemy, it's a natural response to the threats we face. By accepting our fear, we rob it of its power to paralyze us. We can then move through it, using it as fuel for action rather than a barrier to progress. Next, we must connect with others. In our darkest times, it's easy to believe we're alone, that no one could possibly understand our pain. But this is a lie. Humanity is bound together by the shared experience of suffering. By reaching out, by sharing our stories, we not only find support but also provide it to others. In helping others find their courage, we often discover our own. We must also seek meaning in our suffering. This doesn't mean that our pain serves some grand purpose or that it's somehow justified. Rather, it's about finding ways to use our experiences to grow, to learn, to become more compassionate and resilient. It's about refusing to let our pain define us, instead using it as a tool for transformation. Courage can also be found in small acts of defiance against the darkness. It's in the creation of art when the world seems colorless. It's in the act of dancing when our hearts are heavy with sorrow. It's in the laughter we share with friends, even as tears streak our faces. These moments of light, however brief, remind us that darkness does not have the final say.